throw out license law, or not license law, but law when it comes to the E-commerce Act, because real estate agents need to know that. But basically, you can use electronic signatures for whatever you do.
Hey,
so hi, Brett. How are you? Tell everyone who you are.
Well, my name's Brett Decker, and I'm with American Financial Solutions, loan officer. I'm also going to be the president for the Northwest chapter of the Women's Council of Realtors next year.
Congratulations.
And I guess I should probably give my NMLS numbers 22194.
Right, you know that because he has to, right? You might as well.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, we don't have to do that yet as real estate agents in the state of Illinois, but in other states they actually have to do that. So I could easily see that happening.
Yeah, California is really big. You have to have your license number in everything.
Yeah, you do. So
what's going on with loans, Brett? I see you're on here as Brett Loans. So tell us what's going on.
I'm not exactly sure what I just what I said. I kind of clicked a couple buttons. Next thing I know, I'm talking to you guys. So Carrie invited me on Facebook. I'm not. Maybe you could tell me more about who I'm talking to or where. I thought it was going to be more people. I'm a little confused. So.
Okay, so we'll tell you what this is. So Blab is a new live streaming system. And you can actually have 4 people in the room, but there could be 1 million people watching us, Brett. So don't say anything wrong. And you have the ability, right? And you have the ability to leave when you want, and over to your right on your screen, you can see the chats. People can ask questions. At the top of the screen, you can see who's in the room. You can actually, if you click on my name or Marki's name, and you know Marki, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. You can actually click on her name and you can follow her on Twitter. You can actually, those little hands in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, we can give you high fives if we like what you're saying. So I can give Marki high five. You can't give yourself high five. Trust me, I've tried. So I know there's a few other people joining us, and the goal for today is not just real estate questions. We're going to start with electronic signatures and how to take your business actually paperless and how to get your contract signed. We are licensed real estate agents, so for those of you that are joining us, it's okay. You can use electronic signatures in any of your businesses.
And you know what, Carrie, when you think about electronic signatures, what I want people to think about is FedEx, DHL, the fact that they've lost market share due to digital signatures. So all those packets that you used to have to overnight, we no longer have to overnight them. And everything, essentially needs a signature when it comes to a real estate transaction. There's only one document that we have to have a wet signature on, and that would be the deed. But everything else, we can utilize electronic signatures. I think Fannie Mae was slow as snails and allowing electronic signatures, but pretty much anything else. If I'm going to get a loan, Brett, is there anything other than the deed that I can't use DocuSign with?
The tax transcript, the 4506. That's the only one that we need. The 4506? Yeah, to get that.
Wait a minute.
From the IRS.
So if you're lying on your loan application and they send the form over to the IRS to pull your real tax transcript, they want a wet signature. Is that what you're saying, Brett?
Well, it's the IRS that requires it. It's not the lender. So everything that the lenders require is okay, at least in the initial application. At closing, so far, all of my lenders want a wet signature at closing, but that can change.
And Brett, one other thing, the value of Blab and Periscope is that we receive a video and audio recording of this. And so we get to basically use it in multiple ways in the future. Plus, people can click on this after the fact. So we're going to end up with video that we will convert to blog post and Facebook post and extract everything that we're saying because we talk much faster than we write.
Right. So change the title one more time so so people can find us, because if they're searching for the class that used to say e-signature.
Yeah, I changed it, you know what, twice. And for some reason, it's just not taken. I don't know what the problem is. Carrie so Blab is new. and it's in beta. So Carrie just fell off. Carrie will have to pop back into the room, and here she comes. So I'm getting ready to allow her back into the room. And now you can see that she took her position back and you moved back to the third position. So it looked like we're having a few technical issues this evening.
I purposely kicked myself out. I wanted to see if I could refresh.
Yeah. Well, I don't think the host can kick themselves out because I could not.
Can leave and we can keep going.
No, yeah, but I don't know what happened earlier. And so, Carrie, tell us all about DocuSign and the value of e-signatures.
Okay, so I'm a real estate agent, and I use electronic signatures in my business, and I actually train agents to use electronic signatures, and I have a continuing education course that was approved by the state of Illinois to talk about electronic signatures and cloud storage to real estate agents. So when it comes to electronic signatures, most agents don't realize that electronic signatures are legal in all 50 states. There's a little bit of background noise, so I don't know who it is, so you can mute if you think it's you, Brett. In all 50 states, there are only 3 states that adopted their own e-commerce acts, and that's Washington, New York, and of course, Illinois, because we do everything differently. The UETA, which is the United Electronic Act for the other 47 states, also covers, I think, Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and District of Columbia. So if you're working in those areas, that act actually covers electronic signatures. There's also a global act, but that's a whole different animal. But you can rest assured, if you have something signed anywhere in the United States, it's legal. It's been legal in Illinois since '99, and it's been legal all over the United States since 2000. And if you don't believe me, even though we debate about electronic signatures, Marki, you just filled out the FAFSA and you signed the document electronically. You didn't sign with your pen. You didn't sign with your finger. You didn't use anything that applied your signature. You used a pen. And that is legal in all 50 states. So it's not just electronic signatures. Sometimes it's a key. And when it comes to electronic signatures, especially in the real estate industry and e-commerce, in order for it to hold up in a court of law, here's my disclaimer. I'm not an attorney, but I will say to you, if you read the act, any electronic signature program that you use must have a key and a certification. If you are not using one of those programs, it may not hold up in a court of law. And I always get the debate. Agents say to me, hey, Carrie, well, I use PDF Expert. Go for it, use it, and then send it to DocuSign or .loop, because I know those 2 programs have a certification. Now, there are other programs that use them, but the National Association of Realtors, they actually endorse DocuSign. I don't get a fee to sell you DocuSign. I don't have anything for you to click on today to get paid to sell you DocuSign. But there are many agents that use .loop. We know many big organizations use .loop. I actually use DocuSign. So any one of those systems, as long as you have a certification, you can use them. When it comes to Fannie and Freddie, since 2012, Fannie and Freddie have accepted electronic signatures. You cannot use an electronic signature with HUD homes. That's the only place you still need a pen. So I've had agents say, Carrie, I used it to save time. I was like, don't tell me what you did. Just go use a pen. So you can use a electronic signatures with Fannie and Freddie. The tip would be with Fannie and Freddie is you must, if you're going to use electronic signatures, you must go with electronic signatures for the duration of the transaction. So if you write the offer with electronic signatures and if you sign the addendums with the electronic signatures, you must stick with it for the entire process. You can't jump back to a pen. So that's where the challenges come in. Agents think they can go to a pen. And if you read Fannie and Freddie's rules, it says go one way or the other. So if you're not tech savvy, but you need to use DocuSign today because your clients are getting on a plane and going on vacation, you better get used to using it, watch some videos, because you're going to need to use it the entire time. Now,
so let me ask a question. If I'm correct, according to you and Brett, the only time we really need wet signatures is anytime we're dealing with government entities.
Yeah, and I was going to say with a short sale. Now you can use electronic signatures with a short sale, and we can debate this. I've had attorneys debate with me, and I'm not going to debate with an attorney. If you ask me for a pen, I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get the deal done. But when it comes to a short sale, there are times at closing or right before closing, they want an affidavit signed by everyone with a pen to prove that I didn't have a relationship with the person buying. So that was the other scenario where we needed a wet signature. So far, I haven't had any challenges. And when I've had a challenge, I've actually respectfully said to the short sale rep, and Marki, you know this, short sale reps can have 80 deals to 150 deals, even more on the table. And their turnover rate is very high. So they're learning as they go. So I will respectfully say, as of 1999 or 2000, that's 47 states, electronic signatures have been legal. And I
so Marki,
47 states. So what do you know the 3 that it isn't legal?
Well, it's all legal, but there's 3 states that have their own Electronic Commerce Act: the state of Washington, New York, and Illinois, because we are unique.
Say those again for me, Carrie.
The state of Washington, the state of New York, and Illinois. All 3 of those states have their own Electronic Commerce Act.
Illinois is always special. We so damn special. It's ridiculous. Right. We just special. Wow. So think about transactions before electronic signatures, how much time do you believe you're saving by utilizing electronic signatures?
Well, I'll give you my first scenario, and give me a second. Lauren or Jonathan, come get Noah. My dog's about to bark. He never barks, but my Shih Tzu is about to bark. When do you guys come get the dog? Okay, thank you. So my first opportunity to work with electronic signatures was May or June of 2011, and it was on a transaction that was a rental. And if you understand rentals, agents may not make as much money. So without even talking about dollar amount, the tenant's agent said, "Carrie, can you handle the entire lease?" And I was like, "Sure, I'm going to practice on you." So what's going on? Oh, so now he won't let Jonathan pick him up. So anyway, the landlord and the tenants all agreed to sign electronically. So I actually sent the document to everyone electronically. I didn't have to drive to meet everyone. And I actually saved 3 hours worth of time, and also the amount of money I was putting in a navigator at the time. So when you think about it, you can actually save a lot of time and money just by using electronic signatures. In addition to the fact, my best tip is it can be the difference between a multiple offer or one offer. Did you get that? So if I have to write a contract, if I have to meet you to sign the contract, and 24 hours goes by, I can lose out on the opportunity to be the only offer on the property because I didn't use electronic signatures.
So let me ask this question of Brett. Brett, when in the world of lending, because you have different rules and regulations than we have on the real estate side, how do they feel about electronic signatures, and to what extent are you able to use them?
Okay, so kind of like Carrie was saying, purchase contract.
Brett, I don't hear you. Carrie, do you hear Brett?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear him fine.
Hold on. Wait, Brett. Okay. I muted you on my screen. Go right ahead, Brett. Okay.
For, like you said, for the real estate contracts, I think it's invaluable because you're able to get those in really quick. You could have your iPad right there at the list when you're doing a showing, and you could have someone sign it versus going all the way back to someone's office. And with multiple bids, multiple offers, you need that in right away. For my disclosures, for my initial disclosures, it's a great way to get the process rolling a lot faster. It saves you a lot of time. I can email you the disclosures. I can explain them all to you. I've never had an actual closing where the actual closing documents have been e-signed, and I personally am not a fan of those documents being e-signed if that happens, because I think that you should read those documents. In Illinois, we have attorneys that go over this information with you, and an attorney can go over it, explain everything to you. If you start e-signing the closing packages, I think you may have issues with people going, I didn't realize that, I clicked the button, I didn't know that was there. The initial disclosures are not really as important, but those final disclosures you sign, that's where you need to dot your I's and cross your T's.
Now, you know what? We're going to let Yvette join us because Yvette comes from the world of rentals. This is the queen of all things Section 8 and rentals. And so, hey, Yvette, what's going on?
Hey, hold on.
Now, I heard you was feeling sick today.
I'm still in the bed.
Girl, you done brought us to the bedroom. Woo! How you doing? You feeling a little better?
I'm still stuffy from here and across here. Throat hurt. My kids brought something home and they left it here with me.
No. So in the world of rentals, are you currently using DocuSign or any form of e-signature?
No, but I need to because now I'm getting into selling. It was really, really easy, being that I met all of my clients. So I did the leases for the owner, and I met with each and every one of them. So
who got time for that?
Well, I understand. You know, I did.
We're going to make your life easier. We're going to make it easier so that you can make more money. We're going to maximize your earning potential per hour.
And Yvette, because you work in the Midwest real estate data area, DocuSign training is free.
It's okay. I will be there when I get out of this bed.
And then think about how you can introduce other people who specialize in leasing and leasing rentals to a new tool, and it will actually help optimize that entire sector of the real estate industry.
Got it. Okay.
And you're a pioneer anyway.
Yeah. I'll put it all together, see how it all comes together.
No problem. I hope you feel better.
Thank you. Well, you know what? I shouldn't say I meet with every single one. Not all of them, but I do meet with the majority of them. So,
and so, I know that a lot of people have come to you recently. We've had a lot of dialogue with Shaq and other entities. What's going on in the world of rental? Because I know we're going to switch things up. We're going to have just a little real estate dialogue, and we have people here from across the country. So the same rules that apply to us in Chicago and Cook County or the state of Illinois might not apply in other places. But what's unique? What's going on in the world of rentals? What do we need to look out for right now? Because the goal is we need to convert all those rentals to homeowners.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I started doing the veterans home buying and credit restoration seminars, because the rentals that I typically do are Section 8 rentals. And unless these people have some type of viable income to wean themselves off of the voucher or even use that voucher for home ownership, that's one thing. But a lot of these people, in some cases, they'll never do it. But it is, as everyone knows, it's a surge still coming of renters because of foreclosures. We haven't seen all of it yet. And the rental market, the rent rates are going higher and higher, trying to be in line with Section 8.
You know what? There was a new study out, and in the state of Illinois, it's actually more affordable to own a home than to rent. And I live in an area, Carrie pulled the numbers, right? The average rents in Bronzeville are $1,400 with the high rent being $2,800. My principal, interest, taxes, and insurance on a 3,000 square foot house built in 2007 is $1,500.
Yeah,
I need to be buying up everything around here.
I know. That's a 3-bedroom apartment where you live. I know where you live. Remember, we saw each other. And that's how much a 3-bedroom apartment in some of those areas right around you, the mobility areas. And don't talk about if they go to a mobility area, a 3-bedroom will easily cost $1,800 to $2,100. That's in the door.
Well, Brett, what kind of special financing do you have for us converting these tenants to potential homeowners? Any down payment assistance? What's going on in that world?
You know, I'm not doing the down payment assistance Illinois programs, but we had conventional only requires 3% down now. And they've got a first-time homebuyer program where you get a lower mortgage insurance rate than if you were putting 5% down. It's a great program, you know, because when you're talking about your first month's, your last month's rent, security deposit, you're putting more than 3% down. And especially with the way if you get seller pay closing costs and you work out the tax proration credits, I had somebody come in to buy a $150,000 house, $2,000 out of their pocket all day, including earnest money. I mean,
say it again.
$150,000 house. They had to come into closing with $2,000 total. After the seller paid closing costs and the tax proration credits. So
wow.
And they
some really good programs. And like you said, rent is getting so expensive. And I'm not a tax person, but you get your tax write-off. So by the time you take the tax write-off, you get plus the equity that houses are going up now. You know, they're not going up like before. It's not like you can move into a house and, you know, 2 weeks later sell for $10,000 more. But, you know, they're going up as 3-5% over history. That's pretty much what they've always gone up. So if you're going to stay in your house for a few years, you're going to have equity.
Hey, Yvette, I have a question for you from Show Up on Purpose. What is a mobility area?
A mobility area is a part of any metropolitan city that has low crime rates, top 1 or 2 schools, A/B class schools, grocery stores in the area that are in walking distance, accessible transportation. So these are areas in Chicago. I'll name a few: Beverly, Hegwish. I'm trying to go from southeast over the Loop, of course, and on up to O'Hare. It's probably 45 different communities in Chicago that are deemed mobility areas. And these areas now receive 100%, 150% over the face value of that voucher. So
I want to do a little math here. Okay. So if a person has $1,000 per month voucher,
yes,
we're able to gross that up.
Yes.
150%.
Yes.
Okay, I need some help with my math. Brett, help me out here. Because I'm grossing up rental. Is that 1,150 or 1,500? Which one is it?
1,500. Yeah,
Okay.
I think I need to buy a multi-unit and have you rent out some of my places for me. I think we need to talk out of this after this.
That's what I do best. And that's what people are getting. Now, imagine just a year ago, it was 300% over the face value of that voucher. I've got veterans who are living in the Loop. Until next year, their rent on a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, one of my veterans his mobility voucher is worth $3,050. His portion of that rent is $267.
Girl, get out of here.
Yeah, now he's in position now to buy. He's at 100%. He can't buy downtown, of course, but he's one of my converts.
Now, the problem I had with that mobility is that you didn't mention one underserved community. So none of the South Side, none of the West Side could ever be in a mobility area. One, because we're all food deserts.
Right. Yes.
And for those, I've had this conversation across the country. I know there are people who live in cities, they don't know what a food desert is. There are communities with no grocery stores.
Exactly.
For miles. Mm-hmm. And the entire South Side of Chicago is almost a food desert. We have a grocery store at 75th and Stony Island. 55th and Stony Island, but you're going 3 to 4 miles before you even find a grocery store.
Right.
So basically what you're saying is that there's a 7-Eleven or mom and pop's convenience that people are going to buy $5 milk.
Exactly. And the milk on the south side of Chicago is almost 2 times the milk in Lake Forest because of accessibility.
Yeah.
And Lake Forest is one of the most expensive communities to live in the country. And their milk is cheaper than it is on the south side of Chicago.
And they've got the money to buy the milk.
Yeah, they got the money to buy all kind of milk.
Right.
Almond milk, chocolate milk, strawberry milk, the truck for the milk. Yeah, they got all kind of milk. Wow, that's some good information. Yeah. You guys make me want to go and sell a house. Now, let me tell you what Carrie did to me a couple of weeks ago. I have a son, Skylar. He attends Howard University. He texted me. He said, "Mom, your balance is $23,000. I text him back. I said, "Yeah, that's not in my budget."
Right.
He texts me back. He says, "Mom, all you got to do is sell 4 houses and you can knock that $23,000 out." Yeah. So somebody said, "He know your numbers, huh?" I said, "Yeah, he know his mama's numbers." So I tell Carrie, I said, "Carrie, I think I might need to sell 4 houses." She said, "Well, what intersection do you want to sell 4 houses at?" I said, "I want to sell 4 houses at the intersection of 43rd and Cottage Grove." She says, "Oh, you have 194 opportunities where the average rent is $1,400, the high rent is $2,800. And then she hits me with this: "I'm sure you can close 2% of those transactions," because that got me back to my 4 transactions.
Right.
So with that being said, we know these rental prices are high. We know you can get a house with little to no money down. Why are people still scared to buy real estate?
Okay, I can answer that. And we talked about this yesterday. Many times people are afraid to buy because they don't know how to buy. And we don't just have first-time buyers. And Yvette could easily relate to this. We have first-generational buyers. We have people that have never owned, don't know how to own. I have a girlfriend that said, "Hey, Carrie, I'm coupled in this rental building, and we have people that I got cheaper rent because they want to integrate people together," because she's very educated. And she said, "Carrie, somebody came outside and they were mopping the carpet." I was like, "What?"
Pump the brakes. They were mopping the carpet.
Yes.
Carrie, come on now.
I could do. Okay, so think about it. If you don't know how to take care of a house, why would you buy it?
Oh Lord!
Yeah, I've seen things like that before.
So when you have people that need to be educated, I mean, when I came into real estate, I have my friend Barbara Gilliland is on the call. She used to be a licensed real estate in my office. I think she's coming back to the market. And Barbara, yes, I need your help.
Come on, Barbara.
Maybe I can convince her to get her license one day again. Maybe I can get Courtney to get her license. But anyway, and Trina's on the call. Trina is actually in Arizona, I think. Yep, there's Trina. She used to be in my office. If I can get Trina, well, I think Trina should get her license in Arizona. So there's 3 of you I need to get licenses. Well, we could have the Carrie team. So anyway, I'm building a team. So, right. Now that I'm off track, Barbara can relate to this because when we started a long time ago, maybe 03, 04, when Barbara started, we used to have a marketing piece that would say, "Warning, renting is hazardous to your wealth." And I would walk into laundromats, grocery stores, and this was back when you could post things on cork boards. And I'm convinced I had 2 or 3 deals from the laundromat. I used to walk into apartment buildings. If you couldn't tell me, I couldn't sell it because I didn't have the money to market because I was a stay-at-home mom. So I did whatever I could do to get people to buy, but I truly marketed the down payment resources. And back then, they weren't really down payment resources. We got the seller to participate. And really, at the end of the day, we were just negotiating down payment. And this is something I still do today. So my number one goal is if I can educate you and show you how to get into a house, show you how to get in with little to no money down, then I can change our communities. But the challenge is educating people to help them understand that they can actually own.
Yes. Yeah, and that is the exact reason why I started doing those veteran home buying seminars. You know, Brett, what veterans receive, no money down, and they're getting money back at the closing table. They have it's an oyster for them. But none of them, they come to the seminar and they tell me all the time, nobody else is sharing this information with us.
So I have an idea for you then, Yvette.
I'm ready.
You need to use Blab and do a veteran show.
Okay.
Yeah,
I won't be.
The veteran loans are great loans. The VA loans, no money down. You have the seller pay closing costs, and like you said, they can get some money back with tax proration credit, so you can actually get paid to buy a house. There's no mortgage insurance. The VA loans are great. And I think another thing, Carrie and Mark, you were talking about why people are scared. They think that they don't qualify. But I'm closing loans all day long with people with 3.5% down FHA with 600 credit scores. Most people, I mean, if you've got a bankruptcy or a foreclosure, there's timelines that you have to fill. But other than that, you're not more than 6 months to a year away from us repairing your credit to be in a spot to buy. So that, talk to people up front, because, what the key is, all you need is your 3.5% down plus 3 months worth of mortgage payments in a reserve account that you hold. And you know what, if you have a 580 credit score and you don't have 3.5% down in 3 months, maybe it's time to just save up a little bit and be on that 6 month plan to save a couple dollars. Because I think it's good to not spend every dime you have and not be able to furnish your house, or not be able to, fix a furnace if it repairs or if it goes wrong. And over 640 credit score, we can go all the way up to a 56 debt ratio. That means if you make $1,000 a month, $560 can go towards your house and all your bills. So we can really get, it's not as hard as people think it is to get loans now.
It sounds like it's kind of gone back to a point in time where we could really make a good living by providing our expertise. Another project that we haven't talked about, I live in a house, and I told you my principal and interest is principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, PITI, is right at $1,500. So I bought a foreclosed home. My house, when it was built, came to the market at $650,000. And my husband told me straight up, oh girl, I can't afford $650. And so it then came back to the market at $450. So I hit him again. I said, hey, babe, you think we can get this house? He said, no, I can't afford $450. And so the developer who owned the house lost the house to foreclosure, but he politely uninstalled everything up in this house. Every door was gone, every can kit. He took the can kits. He took the lights. He took the jacuzzi tub. What he did leave was the furnace and the hot water tank. So when we bought our house with a 203K purchase rehab loan. It came to the market at $149. We bid at $200,000 on the house. And a lot of people was like, why would you overbid? The reason I overbid it is because right now the house down the street from me sold for $439. I'm clear I have $200,000 in sweat equity in my house. So I always encourage people, look at some of them rough, broke down houses and what you can potentially do with that house, because purchase rehab loans do exist in our marketplace, and it's an FHA product. So you need 3.5% down. And right now, the city of Chicago has communities, they call them MMRP areas, where they're giving up to $90,000 in forgivable grants for giving over 15 years. Their goal is next year, they want to bring money to what is known as the Bronzeville area. So I'm out looking at potential Six Flats, because you can buy investment properties with the MMRP program. Now, I can't do a 203K loan with that. I can only do a 203K. It has to be owner occupied up to 4 units. But I tell people, not only do you want to do purchase rehab, look at converting properties. Look at taking a 4 flat, to a 2 unit. I wouldn't do that per se, but I definitely believe in taking 2 flats and converting them to single family houses in communities where 2 flats cost less than single family homes, and the after repair value is more for a single family house than a 2 flat. Because I have a lot of friends who live in close proximity to me, and they bought their properties for $59,000. But because they did complete gut rehabs on them, their house is worth the same as my house, so they have more sweat equity in their homes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there's a thank you, beginning Princess D. There's a lot of opportunity out here in the world of real estate, even from practicing. But I want to say one more thing. What's kind of interesting about everybody on this call is that even though we are all licensed brokers and managing brokers, 3 of us have transitioned to the education side of the business. Yeah. And so a lot of times people come into real estate and they think becoming a licensed sales agent or a broker is the be all. Right. And what I'll tell you is that's simply the beginning. There are all sorts of opportunities in the world of real estate, whether that's a title, going into an executive position. I came into the industry as a loan officer, just like Brett. And then I went into real estate sales as a broker, became a licensed managing broker. And now I'm all about real estate education, and I don't actively sell real estate. But you can see I can drop them nuggets on you, so I stay abreast of the industry. And so there's a lot of opportunity in real estate from those buying to even those just coming into the industry.
Wait, do that again. Everybody smile for me. I'll take that. Yeah. Smile.
That's my pass it out smile.
Smile. Because I'm going to take a picture.
Wait. Don't do that.
Gotcha.
Right. So let's see. Don't forget to click the. So for those that are on the call, if you could, you see these 2 hands right up under our pictures. They should be at the bottom right hand side of our picture. Mm-hmm. If you could tap those, that gives us high fives. Now we can't give ourselves high fives, but you can give us high fives. Also, over, I think in that direction, but it might be in that direction, there is a blue tail, a little bird. Tweet it out. Let people know. And if you have any questions,
to your left.
To your left. Oh yeah. To the left. To the left. Oh, now I'm gonna tell you how I know the difference between my left and my right. Do y'all remember driver's ed? And when you look down at your hand, the L is the left. That's the only way I know my left from my right. So this is my left.
That's most women. We struggle with that. Terry Jeffries is in the room. Hi, Terry. Terry, that's
Terry.
In the bottom right hand corner. She's the one that wrote the class on Section 8.
Oh, yeah.
She's not
right over there.
Old, but
tell Terry I'm sick today.
She said, "Forgive her,
Terry." Excuse her appearance. Right. She's sick today, and we did acknowledge that when she came on. And I know I'm supposed to call you, Terry, because we're supposed to do some social media. But you can have the dynamic duo now. You can have the dynamic duo now. There's a seat
open. Trina, hey, jump in.
Come on in. Somebody hit that
us.
seat.
Terry, join us.
Say join.
Terry, you know you're.
Hey, Terry. Oh yeah.
Join. Oh, there we go.
She's coming. Oh, the bird is to the right. Thank you, Trina.
Oh, no. It depends on what you're on. If you're on a smartphone, if you're on an iPad, it can be a different place.
Okay, hey, the peer pressure. I can't believe it.
Terry. Hey, thanks for the ad today. I sent you the friend requests.
Oh, okay. Very good. Yes. Did Carrie talk to you yet?
Sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of?
Right.
Okay. When I get back from Texas, we'll have to connect.
Okay.
And for those of you that don't know Terry is the managing broker for United Real Estate in our Oakbrook Terrace office. So right across the street from the Oakbrook Mall. So there's a really good reason to train in her office, and it's really in like the corporate building. So if you ever go to her office, you would think you should buy coffee, because she has like the new like cafe style office. So it's
cafe style. So you can come have coffee and hang out and do your work and Wi-Fi and the whole bit.
That sounds good.
Yep.
Terry, because you're in Oak Brook and we do a lot of real estate events in the Oak Brook area, there are a lot of training events going on out there. What are you seeing in your marketplace? What is tell me the pros and the cons, or the good and the bad of being in the Oak Brook area.
Being in the Oak Brook area. Well, I suppose the pros and cons.
And you can tell me who you really cover, because you're not just Oak Brook.
That's what I was getting to.
Yeah.
You know, I am kind of at the crossroads to everywhere. So, you know, you've got 294, you've got 88, you've got 355, you've got everything that kind of converges right there in Oak Brook. So it's really simple to get to me, to utilize our office space, to, you know, for mobile agents, it's really nice if you just want to stop in and work for a couple hours. I mean, is that kind of what you're looking for? I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, I appreciate the fact that you invited us to your office. And so now I know where to come when I'm out there.
I was tootling around, and Carrie, thank you, because last night I sat here for 2 hours and got my Twitter account set up and figured that all out. So I'm following your lead, girl. I was on LinkedIn and I saw your post about the Blab. I'm like, oh, geez, it's 7:45. And so I hurried up and jumped on. I love this. This is going to be so cool for you guys to train, to bring agents together. I am uber excited about this.
And guess what? There's no one dominating the real estate space right now.
This is photobomb.
What were you saying, Marki?
No one is dominating the real estate space. No one right now. And so what we've come to realize, because we came to Blab relatively early, we have been able to connect with people globally, and they've been willing to talk to us.
I love
where
that.
you might reach out to them on a Twitter or a LinkedIn. Because Blab is new, they're like, yeah, we'll come and do a Blab with you. And I'm like, get out of here. Oh, my goodness. And so with it being new, it's allowing us inroads into new markets.
Yeah. Well, you know what I'm hoping that you guys get from this? I'm hoping that you are able to engage more agents and get them engaged in their business, get them engaged in social media, and be able to demonstrate the importance of all of this in actually being able to make money. I mean, isn't that what we all get out of bed for every morning, is to make money, right?
Yes.
So let's figure out the ways to do it as easy as possible. And, you know, you girls are kind of leading this train, and I love it. I'm on board.
Excellent.
Yep.
Excellent. And anytime you have any ideas, please share them with us. You know, sometimes as entrepreneurs, we all work in separate offices. Sometimes we feel as though we don't have the support that we need. We have to come together and we have to share ideas in order for our industry to go and not feel isolated. And so what I'm hoping from this tool is that we're able to collaborate more. And without violating any rules, because I don't want nobody to go back, they antitrust, they, collaborate. No, to come up with ideas that better our industry and serve our clients.
I'm with you.
And I think this is an awesome tool for education, for collaboration, for working on best tactics, if I would say that. And from this call tonight, I mean, you guys been dropping nuggets. And so I've learned a lot about e-signatures I never knew before. Miss Yvette down there with the rentals, she just blew my mind. I'm thinking I need to rent a house or two, right?
Yeah.
And then Terry, you always the bomb, but just the mere fact that there's an office in Oak Brook, with all those different expressways, that if we were, just tired, we could get off, stop,
Absolutely.
have some coffee with you, see your beautiful face.
They got coffee, they got snacks. You can open the fridge. It's like, it really looks like you should walk in and pay to have coffee.
There's beer, there's wine. We accommodate everything. So, it's there's enough people around. We don't have to all work at the same office to be singing the same song here. To be interested in teaching and elevating our industry. And that's what I love so much. I hate that I missed all the e-signature stuff because I would have loved to heard that. But
recap.
We got you. We got you.
Play. Of course.
We got you.
Of course.
I can spit out my top 10 tips in less than 5 minutes.
Do that, Carrie, because you know what? Well, no, we need, because the time is 7:53. Now go figure this. We've been on almost an hour now. And so Carrie has to do a recap. Actually, I want Carrie and Yvette to do a recap. One on e-signatures and then on the best rental tips and how to serve veterans, because Yvette doesn't know it yet, but she's getting ready to have a Blab account that's going to cater to rentals and converting from being for veterans, right? And how to convert from being a tenant. Girl, gone.
Okay, so since we've said that and Yvette was talking, I don't know. I mean, I think we have a pretty local group, but I do know that there's a few other people on the call that might be from other states. But let me say it like this. Many real estate agents don't realize that they have access to the Realtor Property Resource, which is a national product now. You're paid for in your NAR fees, the National Association of Realtors. But many of us have access to the tax records. So I'm going to challenge all of you to go back to your tax records to find out what you can search for. And in Illinois, and I'm very specific because I'm a trainer for our multiple listing service. So I would call myself an expert genius on the MLS. So that's what I think. But so anyway, in our MLS in Cook County, and I know without a shadow of a doubt, and Yvette, you're in Cook County, you can search by exemption. I can tell you where all the veterans are right now in less than 5 minutes.
Oh, nice. I would love
that. Look at Marki.
Yeah, that's really neat to know. Is I have, with these seminars, it's easy to pack a room in Forest Park, Illinois, pack the room in Chicago Heights. Easy to pack a room in Chicago. But now I'm having difficulties packing a room in Evanston because I don't know where those veterans are.
Oh, I'll tell you where they are.
So that would be a lot of help.
If you email me, I'll send you. You gotta give me. It only takes me a few minutes, but I think I might have that typed out already. I might have the instruction because you can search by senior exemption, vet exemption, and there's some other exemptions, but that's all available to you in Cook County. Now, there's other counties, they're kind of working on it, but you can still get that data. And if any of you are on the call and you work with CoreLogic, that's where we get our data. It's all fed into Realist.
I have a few questions, Carrie, before you
shake it.
Yeah, I want to, I need to ask a question of you, Yvette. Is there a guideline for late fees for rental properties in Illinois? I guess what a homeowner could charge in late fees if you don't pay your rent on time. And Trina, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I hope that was the intentions of your question, or I conveyed it correctly. Correct. So, is there a guideline for late fees for rental properties in Illinois?
Well, Illinois is separated. I hear feedback.
Hold on one second. Let's see.
Okay. Don't move. Okay. Just talk. Don't get close to your. Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, Illinois. Okay, Illinois.
Oh, you can't move that.
Okay.
Just talk.
Okay. That's right. It's on your end, and sometimes it has to do with the Wi-Fi connection.
It is. It is. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's okay. So the different counties, like
if it's really bugging you, you exit the call and you come back in.
Okay, because it is.
Okay, so this is what we can do is I can give you my 10 tips on e-signatures, and then when you jump back in, then you'll give Trina her answer. How about that?
So hit X. So hit X. I'm gonna exit you out, and then you come back in. Okay. Now you answer the question, and I'll let her back in.
Okay, so I'm going to give you my top 10 tips, and I do have this in PDF format, and I'll share the link with you again so any one of you can chime in. So the top 10 tips are, if you're not using e-signatures, if you don't embrace the new technology, you may lose out on opportunities to list and sell. It could be the difference between multiple offers and that one offer, or just being the only offer. So make sure that when you're writing an offer, if you're not using electronic signatures, you could end up in a multiple offer scenario. Electronic signatures are legal in all 50 states. And if you weren't on the call earlier, 47 states use the Unified Electronic Signature Act. And there are 3 states that use their own e-commerce act. And those states are Washington, New York, and of course the state of Illinois, because we know we're unique. And the electronic signatures have been legal since 1999. Choose a platform that has a certification. I'm just going to recommend DocuSign or .loop because you get a certification and it will hold up in a court of law. And attorneys and lenders are asking for the certification when you turn in the contract right away. If you're using other tools like PDF Expert, if you're using your own computers and saying sign this, the challenge is that you could end up having to re-sign everything. Be willing to educate your clients. Great for the out-of-area client. E-signatures provide the ability to go paperless. And if you don't get this, the documents are legible. You don't have to download, print, and scan. And if you didn't get that, there are agents that get an email, they print it out, and they rescan it, and they send it to someone else. What sense does that make? But we don't get it. So you can truly go paperless with the email signature tool. Fannie and Freddie Mae will accept electronic signatures since 2012. If you're going to use Fannie and Freddie, make sure, but when you use Fannie and Freddie, that you stick with e-signatures for the duration of the transaction. You can't go back from a pen to electronic signatures. Saves time and money. Think about the hours in the car. Think about the amount of gas you're purchasing. There may be a learning curve, but the benefit of learning DocuSign can save you that FedEx envelope. As of today, HUD homes, you do have to use a pen if you're writing an offer or bidding on a HUD contract. And yes, you can use electronic signatures on a short sale. Yet, is there a scenario where you might have to use a pen? Of course, just be flexible and know that the goal is to do what's in the best interest of your client. So I'll give you one of my best stories. In Harry's area, a real estate agent that was going to end up in a multiple offer situation. And her buyer said, can you send it to us in DocuSign? The agent had to learn DocuSign. Did she learn it? Yes. Why? Because it was in a very high-end area. The buyers drove to the airport, got on the airplane, paid for the Wi-Fi on the airlines, and wrote the offer in the air, and they got the house. So if you're not flexible in learning the technology, there's a replacement for you.
And the replacement is closer than you think.
Right. And I gave you all of these tips, and I did give you tips that apply to real estate agents. Any one of you can embrace electronic signatures. And wouldn't you rather have a signed contract than do the work and not get paid? You can set up all of your contracts, and you can actually set up templates. So, for example, I have a coach on the line. If she decided she wanted to use DocuSign, you can send a contract quickly, and someone can sign it, and you can do the work.
Okay.
So we lost
Yvette. But Yvette did answer the questions over in the sidebar, so she did address those questions. Oh, she's going to hop back in with us real quick. Terry, what do you believe, because you're very influential in the industry, what is a piece of information that you believe all licensees need that they aren't getting right now?
I can't understand it. The call is breaking up.
In general, piece of information.
Say that again.
Say that again.
I said just a general piece of information.
Yeah, like if it was one thing you think that could improve their sales, that would aid and help them, that they're not getting consistently in our industry, what would that be?
Courtesy.
Man,
wow.
Courtesy.
I think that agents are struggling with balance. I think that there is a need to remind people that they need to be courteous in this industry. Of course, they're going to be courteous to their clients because that's who they think is generating their income. But what they don't realize is that they also need to be as courteous to their fellow agents in the transaction. You may work with them again. You may, it just makes life easier all the way around. I know that's not our topic today, but I probably get average three phone calls from my agents with complaints about non-responsiveness, about rudeness, about, just being ugly. And, this business can be simple if you just be nice.
You know what?
So that's very simplistic, but that's what I got today.
No, but you know what? That makes a lot of sense. I sat on a panel for the city colleges, and I didn't realize that they teach soft skills and what soft skills were, because we take it for granted. But it's also the same skill that Carrie talked about when she said the people were mopping the carpet. A soft skills class for our industry that goes back to the basics, because we have, there's not a true definition of being courteous. We need to explain what that means to people.
Well, to expand on that just one more level, courteous, of course, is a very elementary word. Everybody understands what that means. But in the business world right now, what they're talking about and what there's a lot of information, you can Google it. There's tons of articles, but emotional intelligence. You can measure you can measure IQ, but right now there's a lot of talk about EQ, emotional quotients, emotional intelligence. And, from a leadership standpoint, it's important that leaders in the industry are paying attention to the emotional intelligence of not only, themselves, but to educate their agents in areas of emotional intelligence.
Thank you. I appreciate the courteous and the emotional, because I never even thought about that. So that's something we have to think about because it's not being measured. Yvette, we're wrapping up here. What are your takeaway nuggets?
I like what Terry just said about the connection with the clients, with everybody on that transaction. And also, Carrie, I need to get with you to do the e-signature class. But, going back to serving the populations that I serve, which is the veteran population, typically the homeless, low income, who are utilizing federal, state, city, and county funds. This group of people are very delicate. And the reason I've had so much staying power in this particular field over the past 10 years, just housing these homeless people, is because of exactly what Terry just mentioned, and having that connection with them and being courteous, and getting to where they are. I could do 10, 15 rentals in a month, in some cases in 2 weeks, just because of that. Some people will say that I'll just take it. I don't even need to see it. I'll, to send them anyway to go see it or meet them over there to see it. But they take my word for it because they know it's that trust level that has been built up, and the referral that I get from the agencies, they tell them don't call anybody but me, because they know the type of treatment they're going to receive. So that just that courteous that's given to these clients is very, very important.
And if you don't know Yvette, she's very well studied when it comes to housing. So that's a great way to build a business, and using the relationship building and being courteous to everyone and treating everyone equally. They'll always call you. Always call you, and that's probably why you have a huge tenant base and landlord, because you have landlords who just work with you.
Oh yeah, I have work with about 150 landlords and investors, and I've been in rentals since 2000, and I've had some of those investors since 2000, and they just keep referring people to me, keep referring people. So I don't even advertise. All I do, I've got, and this is what I tell a lot of agents who say I don't like rentals. Well, I don't like rentals either, doing it that way. You know, going on.
Oh, you have no idea. Don't even ask me. I know.
Right. I hate going on MLS to find a rental. I do. If I need a rental in a particular area, I'm going to go meet me a landlord or an investor in that area, and they're going to be on my team. That's it.
You know how to fish. See, that's you fishing.
We lost her. She's figured it out.
I send my list over to the agencies every month, and in some cases every 2 weeks, or upon request, and say, hey, this is what I have. This is a no.
Wow.
If you want me to go looking on the MLS in Lakeview, I'm not doing it, because it's not going to happen. It's not. The brokers in those mobility areas, North Shore, I mean, a lot of different communities don't know how these programs work. So it's an automatic no. So it's easier for the agents and say, pick one, and it's yours.
That comes back to education. So that's why
Yvette.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Brett says connect with him. He wants to work with you. And so that's awesome. Yes. You know what, you ladies, this time has went past. We are 8:10 in. Let me tell you what happens after the show. After the show, I receive an email. That email will have an embed code, a recording of the video, and an audio recording. I highly recommend that you take that and that you embed it on your website, or you do audio to text transcriptions and use it for your blog, or you retweet that content out so that people will know about the nuggets that you dropped here tonight. And so this show, you can utilize it time and time again to market the benefits that you provide that maybe people have never seen you even in this format. We are going to be here every Thursday night at 7. Next week, I got to figure out how I'm going to make that happen, since I will be driving through Denver, probably with no Wi-Fi, but we'll see how that works. We might have to do it a little later or a little earlier.
Topic again next week?
Next week it's automation. Is it automation? Hold on, let me go check it out. I'll let you know what the subject is.
Isn't it paperless? Carrie, is it next week?
That's the 24th.
Yeah.
The 24th.
24th. Okay.
The 24th, Carrie. We're going to talk about taking your office paperless. And I think next week is, I'm pretty sure it's automation and if this then that and some other tools that Marki uses.
Did you guys already do a session on Evernote? Because
that's coming.
No? Okay. So can I just ask a quick question? So only 4 people can be on this at a time.
Yeah, so right now we have an open seat, and Marki can come right in because she actually owns the blab, but she can leave and we can keep talking in her blab.
But as many people can watch this as we...
Right now, over to your right, I don't know which one is your right, people can chat with us. Right.
Yeah, so, but what I'm saying is, though, if we send this link out and people want to watch this, I mean, you can have 100 people watching this at one time, right?
Yes.
Girls. Okay. I'm so excited.
Yeah, Terry, there's a few things you need to buy. This would be one of them. You need a new microphone.
Okay.
Wow.
Hey, did you find the headphones?
For you.
Okay.
You need some. These are called Yeti mics. They cost about $125.
Okay. Well, I'm in Austin, Texas, in a hotel room right now, so jumped on because I thought, why not?
Oh, thank you. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. And so we'll send the recording out. You can utilize it multiple ways. Yes. I don't think next week is paperless, Carrie. You have to check your Blab because you're the host next week.
24th, the 17th automation. It's
Oh, Hootsuite, Zapier, and
If This Then That.
If This Then That. Oh, yeah, we might.
So this is always the
If you think we need to do it at a different time because you are traveling,
let's look at our calendars. And we'll
we can
just reschedule that one for a different time.
do it on a Friday because I'm open. We can adjust and people they'll follow.
We'll adjust and we'll do the replay. We're going to do something every single week. And now we're going to step it up a little bit.
Teach me how to do the replay, how to get that replay posted and sent out to.
Oh, it'll be easy.
It'll be easy. Yeah.
You can actually come here.
So help me along.
Once this is over and you click Blab, you can actually click the replays and search for Marki, and this will come up and you can just reshare it.
Okay.
Yep. So we want to thank everyone for being here. We appreciate the fact that Yvette and Terry have tried out a new tool. They are icons. And let me say this too before we close out. We have leaders. Everybody here is a leader. There's enough space for everyone. There's enough pie to go around where everybody can dominate their piece, their share. A lot of people often compare Carrie and I tell everybody it's enough technology to go around that Carrie and I don't ever have to talk about the same thing because I didn't know bupkis about DocuSign and e-signatures before Carrie spoke tonight. So we appreciate everyone for being here. Carrie and I, you can find us on the internet by our names, Marki Lemons and Carrie Bey-Little. You can also find Carrie Jeffries. She's a good friend of mine on Facebook, and Yvette Jones. Please feel free to connect with us. Let us know what you need in order to be successful, and we are willing to make that happen.
If you want my tips, I just posted my link again. If you go to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever, Dig Delicious, Stumbled Upon, Snapchat, whatever, you can find me, Instagram. I'll get you those tips. But I just sent you the link if you want them.
Awesome, girl. This is fantastic, girls. Nice job.
Everyone, thank you and good night.
Good night.
Good night.